Great. Well, it's great to be here. Nice job, and it's a terrific opportunity to come to the Stanford campus and talk to so many people that the lights are on and looking for big ideas and comparing notes and networking. I'll start with John Doerr said you got to learn as an entrepreneur to do a lot with a little. This morning, I'm a fourth-generation farmer, and we kind of grew up on learning how to do as much as you can with as little as you can. And that led me to go to college, and it led me to meet Ross Perot. I worked for Ross Perot for 21 years at EDS, and then went to help found Perot Systems in 1988. Fast forward in early 2004, I was approached by a headhunter at Foundation Capital, and Paul Holland was just up here, and had a meeting with them, and the last thing that was on my mind was to go do a startup in the smart grid space with a networking company and a big idea called Silver Spring Networks. We had 20 engineers in San Mateo at the time. There was no CEO. They were looking for a founding CEO to come in and really take what they thought was a big idea in transforming the energy market. Most of the investments that had been made to the date had been continued on the supply side. And there really had not been innovation and technology put to use in the technology that we knew of from the previous decade on the demand side. So think of Silver Spring Networks as really focusing on the demand side technologies to enable the smart grid and enable the adoption of alternative generation that comes into the market. So you've heard about the fifth fuel and energy efficiency being the fifth fuel, and putting in a platform and a network in place to all of the billions of devices around the world that consume, generate, control the flow of power. It's enormous. And when we think of that, we think of a networking opportunity. So we really thought we had a big idea. There was, when I met the Foundation Capital team, and a couple of the co-founders, Raj Vaswani, who spoke this morning, and Eric Dresselhaus, who I met in early '04. What attracted me was the big idea, the challenge of building a company into one of the most risk-averse industries on the world as a Silicon Valley startup high-tech company. And those were key things that attracted me. There was also this consciousness, this moral consciousness that at that point in my career that really wanted to get my sleeves rolled up and do something about how we use global energy more intelligently and more efficiently. We have a really awesome case study developing in Oklahoma right now with Oklahoma Gas and Electric. It's a utility that was about to invest $350 million in 2 peaker plants. But instead, we said if we implement a smart grid and technology and let it be our friend, we can put that money to use and avoid the build-out of more generation in peaker plants. And that is now achieving more results than we ever dreamed of, where the intelligence on the demand side management is delivering those real results. And so I think in the very early days, make sure you have a big idea, make sure you stay passionate to that big idea, surround yourself with great people. I was really fortunate at the time. I remember one of the first conversations that I had with Foundation Capital was, this is going to take some time. And they said, we're committed to this space. Well, we tested that commitment. By the end of 2005, I think I probably knocked on 125 doors in Sand Hill Road. It was a little bit more than that, but we'll just stop at 125. I didn't know there were so many venture firms on Sand Hill Road. And they kept saying, God, we love the idea, love the team, but will utilities ever really adopt this? And we heard the manufactured controversy by many of the incumbents that proprietary systems were opaque, that standards were really not necessary. And of course, we fought that. We were stubborn. We said, no, this is going to become a very standard-driven industry. And we studied our competition. And we did something that was truly differentiating. We built a platform and a technology base built on native IPv6 networking, when there was still an enormous amount of resistance and this manufactured controversy by the proprietary incumbents that wasn't the right move. And now what we've seen in the last 2 years is a true adoption that we have been very much working on in very close partnership with our clients and other partners to embrace standards and to implement standards. And we found ourselves in a great position because we now have more than 5 million homes networked with our technology around the world. And that's adding by tens of thousands every single week.
So you have 150 nodes.
Yeah, 150 nodes.
So what you're saying is that the entrepreneurs have some questions. Okay, how do you know it's a good idea? Well, by definition, you have to be contrarian. If everyone is nodding their head saying this is a great idea, it's bad.
Right.
So how can you talk about what you found when you got there? Were these guys were they in bad shape? Were they tech guys in cubicles wondering what was going to happen to them, looking to you to save them by raising capital? I mean, just tell us what you found and how you ended up actually raising capital.
We, when I joined, a big chunk of the A-round money was fairly well burnt through. And we had a good system, but it wasn't the 5 nines. Utility, demand, 5 nines. Reliability, performance, something that adopts standards where standards exist, and you innovate standards and show market leadership where they don't. And
5 nines meaning
99.9% reliability. It's got to work. And utilities are very diligent of doing their homework. They're risk adverse for a lot of good reasons. And you know, it's that's a key thing. So we didn't have a system that was 99+%, and it was close, but it still wasn't good enough. So we went back to the drawing board and started over. And what we ended up and developed was something that does deliver that kind of performance. And the great thing about, you know, the people and the commitment we had from our venture firm, Foundation Capital, I cannot underestimate. Silver Springs would not exist today the way it is had it not been for the perseverance and the shared vision and the shared commitment to this industry that our early investors had, that our team had. You know, pretty much anybody on my team and in the company could go do something significant. They've risked a great career being a great winner at somewhere else to come here. So they've got a lot of skin in the game to make this wildly successful. So I think the people are obviously critical. I always say, let's go find people who love to win. And people say, well, what if we can't find people who love to win? We'll go find people who hate to lose. And that's the kind of team that you must have around the table.
So answer one of the other questions, Scott, about founders. So you went in, you had a team. Do you just keep the team? You don't want to rock too many boats? I do know about just the last couple of years you made some changes, even recently, to your management team. So what did you do with the founding team? How do you decide who's going to stay with you and who's going to move?
Raj and Eric, the two co-founders, are still very committed to the company, and they've got big jobs in the company, and I would say they're having a great time. We have had to stay nimble. Our company went from 20 engineers in San Mateo to now we have more than 600 people in the company, and most of that growth has come in the last 24 months. The market adoption and the pull for this technology has been awesome. We've been truly humbled by it. And with that, the skills change, the needs change, and you have to be comfortable in your own skin to make sure you've got the right people around the table that share the right commitment, that really have the experience to take it to the next level. And we have constantly managed that proactively. And today we're really fortunate to have. We wouldn't be where we are today with a really terrific team. I just saw, my last team member that joined the company is here somewhere. His name's John Joyce. I see him back there. He was 30 years at IBM. He was a CFO of IBM for almost 6 years. He was managing partner at Silver Lake. He's a leader who could have gone out to do anything that he wanted to go do. But the thing that got him fired up about this was the size of the market, the importance of this company and this technology has to the global market, and at this stage in his career as well, to do something from a conscious perspective. And all of our teammates are committed like that. And now we're going into an interesting stage to kind of close the loop. We're hearing, went from the manufactured controversy of proprietaries as better than standards to now there's a developing manufactured controversy of my standards are better than thou competition.
You talking about Andres?
No, I'm talking generally. No, you see it everywhere. No, I'm talking generally. I don't really know what many of the companies are changing a little bit of flavors. If you look back at the very early days of Silver Spring Networks, I can show you slides that we used in 2004, and other than some labeling that we've done and branding that we've done, they look a little sharper, are the same core message that we've been delivering consistently over and over again.